It's the classic rock lost and found. Right here on Pence Peak Radio.
We've got a very special guest on the show tonight, co-founder, lead guitarist, and vocalist of Vanilla Fudge, Vince Martell. How are things going for you, Vince?
Hey, very good, man. Thank you. You've been my pleasure being here, and things are doing good.
Good. So let's talk a little bit about the history of Vanilla Fudge. You guys started in New York in the mid-1960s, correct?
66, we were the Pigeons originally. Joey Brennan was the drummer. We had Mark and Timmy came out of a group. I came up from Florida. Joey was leaving the group, going to California. We managed to get Carmine, and shortly after that, we became Vanilla Fudge.
You guys were originally playing in Long Island.
Long Island and also Newport, Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
Back and forth, yeah.
What was it like being in a psychedelic rock group 3,000 miles away from what many people call like the epicenter of the whole psychedelic rock thing in San Francisco?
Well, actually, there was a whole New York scene going on at the time. Long Island scene, they also called it. It was the Vagrants, one of the big groups involved, the Rascals. There's a whole bunch of groups in Long Island. So we kind of were like the head of that or something like that. I don't know how it worked out. But we were into slowing down tunes, which is what some of the bands were doing back then, and getting the most soul and emotion out of, every note possible. It was cool.
Yeah, that's definitely what you guys are known for, is slowing down songs and making them heavy, showing the songs pretty much in a whole different light and different emotion. Was there like a band in particular or other bands that influenced you to rearrange the songs in such a different way? Yes,
I could credit the Vagrants for one, and also the East Indian style of music that was happening. Leslie West was in Vagrants. He was into that East Indian thing. We were hanging out together. That all contributed to what was happening with the Beatles, Rubber Soul, and all like that. It just all seemed to come together. And, if I may say, what everybody was, passing around smoke at the time, whatever it is, and everything seemed a little bit too happy. And, so we ended up getting into the slowing down and getting as much drag, as much emotion, as you just said, out of the music we possibly could.
So what was the first song that you guys decided on rearranging, and how did it fall together?
Keep Me Hangin' On was the first tune that we started doing. We also did Bang Bang, a lot of the stuff that became our first album. We had a great producer. We got involved with Shadow Morton, who was involved with the Shangri-Las and Sonny and Cher. He was good friends with them. What we did was we just started slowing everything down and hanging on. I think it was possibly Mark and Timmy outside the Cheetah in New York City. Again, I think they were indulging in something over there, but they heard the Keep Me Hangin' On come on the radio by the Supremes, and they said it sounded too happy and too popish for the mood, and so they brought that to the table, and gut-wrenching heavy vocals and everything. We just wanted to make it as heavy as we possibly could, because nobody seemed to be getting that kind of an emotional. Part of the group of the Vanilla Fudge was always competing against each other also. So everybody was trying to a degree, not outdo each other, but to a degree we were always going maxed out. Again, I may credit a great manager that we had at the time that allowed us to be able to do that. So we just had a lot of things going for us. I feel myself, we were kind of the foundation of hard rock and even the beginnings of heavy metal because of the loudness. I mean, we were on 10 on the biggest amps we could find at the time, so that's what I would say about that. VH1, we just are on a thing right now, actually, evolution of heavy metal, actually is what it's called. They've been showing that a couple of times. They interviewed me for that, and Carmine, and so I heard from a few people that we were like, when they saw us at David Frost show, we did Need Love, that I sang that particular one. I heard that from this agent that was managing the Doors a while back, was saying that he felt that was the beginnings of heavy metal. So, I don't know.
You guys had fantastic success with your first debut album, like you said before. You had a few charting Billboard Hot 100 singles, went really well. Then for your second album, you guys made a sort of like musical collage concept album. I just gave it another listen last night. I have it on vinyl. including songs by Sonny Bono, the Beatles, Cole Porter, and you go as far as playing some Beethoven parts, Mozart, Glenn Miller. What made you guys want to take this different approach for your second album?
Well, actually, it's not that we wanted to take the different approach. Well, no, what happened is the first album, see, there was two different things going on. The first album, the group had been playing up and down the East Coast for about 8 months before we recorded, maybe 6 months or so, but we were pretty tight with the songs, with the arrangements. Shadow Morton was involved with that. We also did Season of the Witch. I didn't go on the first recording record and went on a later album. We were into a very creative run. What happened after that is that Shadow Morton, along with Ahmet Ertegun, the president of Atlantic, we were on ATCO, which Atlantic owns, was a subsidiary of Atlantic. Ahmet Ertegun and Shadow decided to go for this concept album, The Beat Goes On, and it was done in parts. You know, we went in the studio and we would just put this part down and that part, and it was a concept album that we really didn't know. It was how it was going to come together. It was their baby that they wanted to spawn out on everybody at this particular point, and actually, it was kind of maybe too avant-garde after the first album. We should have stuck with both the format of the first album, which was people were expecting. But that's the way, that's the way it goes, and that's what we did. And we heard it when it was all over. We pressed and released to the stores going out. That's what happened with that.
Yeah, and you guys still charted pretty well with that album as well. I think it was top 20, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was, right. It actually, I'm surprised that it, the good stuff is great on there. The Pure Release is a beautiful, I still, in fact, I want to see about if the group was willing to do it again in some of these gigs that we're doing, or my band, I might do it again. It's just a beautiful piece of work.